Did you guys chase any birds?
No, we were looking at a girl in the bikini though. It was
Why did I get the bikini experience?
You didn't tell me about
cost
that.
extra.
All right, so Gillespie just went IFR, aeronautical decision making. We are diverting to a different airport.
We have to go all the way back home and file a new flight plan, baby.
All right. So why are we in the back of an ambulance, James?
I mean, they didn't have an Uber or Lyft, so we dialed 911 and bam, we're good.
All right, James is going to film today's video intro. What are we doing today, dude?
You know, it occurred to me about 3 o'clock this morning, the absolute closest thing we can do to your logo is a paper airplane with us beneath it instead of on top of it.
Okay, so that's what we're doing today.
Clearly, we're redoing your logo today.
All right. So I know you're flying with me today, and you've flown with me before once. You brought a helmet?
Yeah.
You brought a helmet because you're flying with me? Is that what that's for?
That's exactly what that's for. I watched you. I'm afraid I'll get sucked out of the airplane because I saw Aaron's door come open when y'all were flying.
Yeah, sometimes this one comes open. You'll get sucked in it. Yeah, so I see that's why you went the
Yeah, I
helmet.
got the helmet.
Squirrel!
Red squirrel.
Nice. All right, we're going to go fly hang gliders or trikes or whatever they're called.
All right, the most important thing is handled, and all the cameras are on, and we look good.
That's my hair.
Dude, all right, it's beautiful. So have you ever flown in a hang gliding trike before? I don't even know what the proper name is or what we're about to do.
I don't have a clue what to call it either, but no, I have not.
On their website, it's called a hang glider, but I think that's just so when you Google it, it comes up. When I talked to the guy, he kept using the word trike.
Well, and so the hang glider doesn't have the car thing underneath it, and is not powered.
True, this is not gliding, this is powered.
Yes.
Northwest traffic, Comanche 7420 Papa is departing runway 35. We'll be departing to the northwest traffic. All right, everything looks good.
Southwest traffic, German 355, turning final, 35 right on grass, southwest.
Full power.
Sounds like my buddy Lanny. Lenny.
Wheels on the floor. 60. 70. Always takes a second. 80. Let's go fly.
It's
Landing gear coming up.
Traffic, Starby 27, Tango X-ray, sharing final, number 2, prop launch.
Let's fly really fast, far away, so we can fly really slow.
all right.
Landing gears up.
Do you have a bathroom on board?
Just go in your seat. This place already smells like that, so it's fine. All right, we're north of Alliance. We'll go ahead and turn left. I can tell right now just by looking at the video from that camera is going to suck.
You want me to get out there and hold it?
Oh, damn it.
It may just be cold. It's definitely shivering. Is this from like a Chevy truck?
It is.
A window unit?
Yeah. If you do this, that window comes down. All right, go ahead and switch tanks. We'll go to right main. Sorry, touch your thigh. Not sorry.
Baby. That's the thing about the Mooney is you don't have to apologize because you're already overlapping. You know,
if I wanted to be better friends with you, I'd have got a Mooney.
yeah. There's a reason they had the rocket version.
I don't have enough sweat on me. I need some of yours.
Hey, I showered. I'm on 3G, and I've got us tracking with breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Means it's not towers.
It's not towers. Okay. Oh, you're in airplane mode?
Yes.
Thank you for putting your electronic device in airplane mode.
You're welcome. I didn't want to die.
Yeah, I know. It'll
Causes
it
doors
it
to
does.
open.
The doors open. People, just bodies everywhere. Sunrise Beach traffic. Comanche 20 Papa's entering 45-degree downwind leg for runway 12 full stop. Sunrise Beach.
And Granite Shoals, trike 395.
That's him.
Free traffic for Sunrise Beach.
Is that you, Jeff?
Yeah, we're just out on the ground over here at Granite Shoals. You guys landing over at Sunrise Beach, sounds like?
Yeah, we'll be down in about 3 minutes. Okay, Doke. I'll probably talk to my cell phone once you're on the ground. All right, sounds good. All right, gears down. Fuel pump is on. Prop is forward. Sunrise Beach, Comanche turn and final 1-2 full stop. Go ahead and go full flaps. Little premature, but
That big engine, you can overrun your flaps super fine.
I know. All right, everything looks good. That runway looks pretty smooth. All right, landing gear is still down. I didn't retract it. On my numbers. That's the smoothest landing I've ever made in my life.
I was going to tell you, wow. Clearly that beacon's doing his job.
So James and I landed at Sunrise Beach. We did this whole thing with the plan to have an experience and weren't so much focused on making a video. That said, we did have a lot of equipment. We had drones and tons of GoPros and a couple of DSLRs and a video camera. But what we didn't have really was a plan with respect to how to use all that equipment. So there's a lot of, oops, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. And so we have footage of just a camera laying on the side of the wing. And then turning it off when it was time to film. The almost no audio from the fly. So this is what happens when people who aren't thinking about YouTube videos make YouTube videos. But the experience was great. How you doing? Are you Jeff?
I'm Jeff.
I'm Brian. This is James.
Hey, James.
Nice to meet you, Jeff. How you doing? It's a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
So I was up first in the trike, and before we got going, Jeff wanted to give us a quick pre-flight. Something that was interesting about this, flying regular old airplanes, is one, there's no rudder. So I knew I would have this incredible temptation to use these pedals in the air, which would do absolutely nothing. Pushing forward actually goes up and pulling goes down, which is the opposite in an airplane. And also steering on the ground is reversed. If you press your right foot forward, the plane's going to go left. Push your left foot forward, it's going to go right.
There it is.
So the powered trike combines all the excitement of thinking you're probably going to die with the realization that not only did you volunteer for this, but you actually paid for it. This is one of those experiences where I think the outsider might perceive it as being rickety and kind of dangerous, but take it from me, having been on the other side, the truth, actually that's the truth, it's pretty accurate. This is, just look at that thing rocking in the wind. Does that bolt look loose to you? Truth is, this was actually a total blast. It's about the freest form of flying I think I've ever experienced. I certainly had an intense fear of heights kick in because there's nothing between you and the ground. I found it very difficult not to think about how many seconds until I would hit the water if this whole thing should just come apart. Here's a bit of the POV shot from inside the trike, just so you can kind of get a feel for what it's like up there. There's really nothing but you and the wind. As long as you're able to kind of block that part of your brain that thinks about disasters, it's pretty fun, especially low to the ground. It is tremendous fun. I was way more comfortable down low, so we spent some time skimming the fields and flying low over the lake. I took the controls briefly, but everything was backwards. I'm so used to flying a regular airplane. Right away, I gave control back to the pilot.
Awesome. Yeah?
That was so awesome.
You gonna buy one now?
Man, just the treetop over the water aspect of this whole thing. Like, I would never go above about 500 feet if I had one of these. It's just, we're looking at birds and fish and waving at fishermen and stuff. It's awesome. Once on the ground, I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast, but I was very happy to be back down on the ground playing with cameras again. Now it was James's turn to go up. So James went up and had a similar flight to the one I had, although I don't think he's as timid as I am. I'm not ashamed at all to admit that, especially in an unfamiliar aircraft or someone else's aircraft, I'm definitely on the timid side. James doesn't have that part of the brain that worries about stuff, so they went up and did stalls. James flew it quite a bit, and I think they had a slightly more aggressive flight. Here James is doing a low pass over the runway. Good time?
Man, that was good. It's freaking awesome.
We gonna partner on one?
Oh, yeah, let's get one, man.
So James and I did our powered trike flight, and unfortunately the audio didn't turn out well on the ride. I've done things like this before where you're flying in something that's out in the open and it's so much wind noise. My options were to try to fix the audio, which was going to take forever and just be a pain, or just throw 5 minutes of hang gliding flight out there with some music in the background. Both of those didn't seem like great ideas. So what I did was I called James. I said, dude, let's get in the plane. Let's debrief the flight. And we'll kind of throw some the clips over us discussing what was kind of going through our minds. So that's what we decided to do. James and I met at the airport. He brought his better half, Jody, along, and we decided to go fly to Gillespie Field and grab some breakfast. And unfortunately, we hit some weather on the way, so we had to divert to a different airport. But here's the debrief.
All right, so we need to take a moment and debrief our hang gliding trip.
Okay.
So that was fun. That was so much fun. We ended up in completely different outfits, and we picked up a passenger. I don't know how that happens.
Well, you know that happens when there's no doors and your clothes get sucked off.
Yeah, your clothes get sucked off, and she got sucked in.
Yeah.
So,
Man, that was a blast.
so let me ask you this: when you first got in the hang glider, were you aware that you were going to have another man's head so tightly put into your crotch region?
You know, that was kind of the part I was anticipating and looking forward to the most.
You usually have to pay for that.
Yeah, exactly. I wish he'd shaved.
All right, so I will fully admit I'm scared of heights. Obviously not right now. So when we took off, one thing that's weird is it felt like we were going super fast both on takeoff and landing because you're so close to the ground and you're not inside this big metal box. I was cool until treetop level. I could do that all day, every day. Once we got up about, I think the highest we got was maybe 2,000 feet, about 1,000 to 1,500 feet. That's when I was like, I started hanging on to the bars as though somehow that's going to do something for me. So I was a little nervous up there. The other thing, you flew it. He asked me if I wanted to fly it, and because there were cameras on, I was like, yeah, I want to fly it. He gave me the bar. As soon as I did this and it didn't go up, or whichever way, it's reversed from here down, I was like, I'm out. You flew it for a good 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I was doing well. I actually was the opposite. When we were farther off the ground, I felt safer. I felt like I had more control. But the problem is I felt like I had more control when I realized I didn't. That's when I realized I might be more afraid of heights than I used to be. Because I was pushing one way, which was the opposite way you're supposed to push because it makes your butt go the anyways.
Yeah.
When we started, I was flying fine, and I flew around, and then all of a sudden we started spiraling downward. And I realized the ground was getting closer faster than I was comfortable with, and I was fighting it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, you're playing.
You guys stalled it, right?
Yeah, we stalled it a couple times. I got to stall it myself. That was fun.
Okay, you like that?
Oh, it was awesome. because it just, you feel it bumping just a little bit, and it just dropped. I mean,
Okay.
and then did you fly your hands off in the air? He took his hands off. Like, no one was touching the daggum wing.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
There may have been a couple moments, but I definitely was out of my. It's the same thing. I've done the paramotor and I've done the powered paraglider. Down low to the ground. It's cool, but once we're up basically this altitude here in that little kite, I'm just like, man, the nerves, and I'm like, so I know there were a couple times where he took his hands off, and I was like, okay, please fly the thing. And I know, again, look, I know they fly themselves,
Right.
but at the same time, it's not. I don't think it's afraid of heights. It's a lack of control because I wouldn't want to be sitting there right now. Did you you guys did a low pass? We did a super low pass and kind of buzzed. We talked about buzzing the cows. There weren't no cows, but it was like a farmer's field. Did you guys do any low passes?
We did just a low run down the runway.
Okay,
then
that's right.
We pulled back up, which was it was crazy because I figured Brian's gonna think I chickened out because we.
That's exactly what I thought. We go, maybe they're having a mechanical problem. Why is he coming back? And then you just zipped on by.
Yeah, he said we're gonna buzz the runway. I was like, sweet. Then as we were coming around, I was like, I guarantee you, Brian thinks that I done chickened out and I want it back on the ground.
That's exactly what I thought.
So that would never happen. You know, it's funny because you naturally want to put your arms straight out. You can feel the wind.
I was watching the video. You and I, most of the flight, were like Superman in it. Like,
yeah, it's like, no hands, Mom, no hands. You know?
I don't know, that's not Superman. That's, I don't know what that is, but we were doing that.
I was doing like Glory Jesus.
T-posing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, one of the things, so I'm not sure that I would want to solo that thing.
I would.
I mean, I guess eventually, I was never scared to solo a plane.
Sure.
But soloing that thing, I mean, you're right. The roof gives you a sense of confidence and comfort that is probably false.
I will say, though, knowing, and I know this is cheesy, knowing there was a parachute on it was like, okay, worst case scenario, you know, and I'm looking, okay, I got a handle, he's got a handle. But then there's also the whole thing, I mean, you're out there in the wind, that big old propeller feels like it's just breathing down your neck. I know it's completely safe, or at least as safe as this, but it was good. I would do it again. I would like to have my own, but I would never get all that high. I would just go, you know, putt around treetop level, and I'd have a blast. Do you want to? You want to float, baby doll? All you got to do is hold something like your phone in your hand like this.
Yeah.
I'll hold this pen.
Okay.
We're just going to go up and down.
Okay.
Wait, my seatbelt's
You're going to lose your stomach a little bit, but it's not abrupt.
Corsicana, Mooney, 9-1 Hotel, on downwind.
Watch this, baby doll.
All right, we're going to pitch up. Pitch up until our airspeed bleeds off a little bit. All right, now it's time for 0G.
That's the appropriate response, actually.
It is awesome.
Downwind traffic, Cessna 139 to Quebec will be heading off to the north.
That was awesome.
It looks like we get a run. We can just run right through it.
Oh, you're not looking at what I'm looking at.
Oh, that's cool. I've never seen red rain before.
Yeah, it's red rain.
But I thought you were instrument rated.
I'm instrument rated, but I'm not. Turns out even in the instrument course, they're like, don't fly through storms. I thought the whole point of the ticket was...
Yeah.
All right, so Gillespie just went IFR. Aeronautical decision making. We are diverting to a different airport.
We have to go all the way back home and file a new flight plan, baby.
Automated weather observation. 1535 Zulu weather. Wind 350 at 10 visibility 10 ceiling 3,100 overcast temperature 1 Celsius dew point -4 altimeter 304.
So we diverted, we landed at Stephenville, and we were hungry. Stephenville Airport is walking distance to a barbecue restaurant that's really popular in the aviation community. There were no cars or Ubers or anything there, and this is when it kind of got interesting. I was fine just walking, but about the time we were getting frustrated with our inability to find an Uber, an ambulance pulled up, and a care flight helicopter landed. Unfortunately, a gentleman was trying to build a fire and put some gasoline or something on it, and it blew back on him, and he got burned pretty bad. It was it looked like it was he was going to be okay, but he was struggling. So they pulled him out of the ambulance, put him in the care flight, and took off. And I said, "Are y'all ready to go?" And James said, "No, I've got an idea." This is where James and I are different. I'm way more antisocial than you probably would believe. James, on the other hand, is a social butterfly, and he's never met a stranger. So, yeah, we're watching through the glass. He starts talking to the ambulance driver, and then he waves us out. So the ambulance said, "Hop on in, we'll take you to lunch." All right, we're at Stephenville Airport. We flew into my Comanche. Heart 8's about to open, and this guy couldn't find an Uber, so we're hitching a ride in an ambulance. Why are we in the back of an ambulance, James?
I mean, they didn't have an Uber or a Lyft, so we dialed 911 and bam, we're good. You know, we started this morning on the airplane with Brian, and here we are in the ambulance.
I don't know how this stuff happens to me, to us, to whatever. But one of us is flatlined.
Man, we really appreciate you guys. Thank you. This make good today footage, right?
We didn't even have video for tomorrow, and now the flight to Heart 8 with the ambulance Uber. All right, so the lesson we learned is if you can't find an Uber, you just dial 911. And all right, that's it for this video, guys. I really appreciate y'all sticking through to the end of this one. I know it was a little bit longer than what I normally do, and it had a lot of moving parts, but hopefully it was fun. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Thanks to all the Patreon supporters. It means a lot to me that you guys do that. Gold Seal, thanks for sponsoring. I really appreciate it. I don't know what's happening next. We're right in the middle of the holiday season, so happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. You guys fly smart, and I'll catch you in the next one. Click this link to see the most recent video upload. Click this link to see a video that YouTube thinks you might like. Click this link to subscribe to my channel.